Welcome back to the Hive, everybody. Hope you're doing well and you're having a great evening or a day or whatever you're having. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, so we're going to go ahead and have some fun today. We had a show just this past day with Bruce the Fox Penhall, and Bruce, just an amazing guy, and he's just a crazy talent, world champion, and we had a great show with Bruce Penhall. And we just talked about Speedway. I told Bruce I just wanted to talk about what made him a champion, like what made him success. Because in every Speedway rider, there's that certain burning desire, and everyone has like a goal. Some people want to be a good rider, some people want to be a D2 rider, some people want to win the United States Championship, and some people want to be a world champion. So everyone has a different set of goals, and we know that in order to win a world championship, you have to have a very high level set of those goals. So that was really great. And today we're just going to have an informal talk. We're just going to talk casually. And when I was young, when I was a little boy, I got my first Speedway bike when I was like 11 years old. And I actually used to sleep with my motorcycle. I liked motorcycles. I like motorcycles today. I always liked motorcycles. And this was a little picture when I was like a little kid. Let's see if I can get that. And I was sleeping on my bed with my motorcycle, my Yamaha Mini Enduro 60 I used to go racing with. And there I am with some Steve McQueen pictures on the wall, some Speedway pictures. I liked everything. And I used to lay in bed and smell that gasoline. That's why I'm so crazy today, probably, because I just love the motorcycle close to me. When I wake up, I had a motorcycle. So I go to bed and have the motorcycle, and when I wake up, there would be a motorcycle. I just liked it, like to go to bed. Like last thing I see was my motorcycle. That was really cool. And then I'd wake up in the morning and my eyes would open, and guess what I would see? I would see my yellow and black. Yellow and black. That's my favorite color. I'd see that motorcycle. So that was really fun. And then I start racing Speedway, not Speedway, mini cycles, mini motorcycles at Saddleback. And this is a picture with me in the green and yellow helmet with a yellow shirt. And I was racing. You could see my number plate there. I was number 928, I guess, at Saddleback. I was a little big for my mini enduro. I think I outgrew it. And that guy next to me was one of my classmates. We used to go riding sometimes together. And that his name is Jay DRC, and Jay had passed away a couple years ago. So rest in peace, Jay. But we were riding, that's Saddleback we were riding at. And my dad, he painted a bumblebee on my helmet when I was only like 11 or 12. And he said, "You're going to be the bumblebee." So he painted this big old bumblebee on my helmet. That was cool. My first bumblebee was by my dad in my head when I was racing at the minis at Saddleback. And then when I was about that time, I was in like junior high, and I used to ride my motorcycle every day after school. It was a lot of fun. And somebody took this picture of me when I was driving. This is at McPherson School. I don't know if you know that place or not. But behind me here is railroad tracks over there. There's railroad tracks. And I would ride every day at the railroad tracks. And then I would like go hang out. I had my Steve McQueen helmet on, the half face with that little shield. That was really cool. And then I went to a basketball game. Somebody took that picture of me. And that girl was a cheerleader, wherever she is over here. That's Cindy Alves. She was a kind of a foxy girl. And so I used to ride around McPherson Junior High, and I had my boots on, I had my Levi's, and I had my beautiful yellow and black mini enduro. That was gorgeous. And there I am, just getting ready to be a Speedway rider, practicing every day. A handsome young guy, motorcycle rider, every day, every day, riding those motorcycles. It was a lot of fun. So then I saved my money for a Speedway bike. And when I was like 16 years old, I went ahead and bought my first Speedway bike. Also, if you want to chat, we have the Facebook thing open and the YouTube if you want to chat. And so if you want to ask me any questions or anything like that, I have a friend, he asks me all these sort of weird questions all the time. But we're not, hopefully he's not online today. I don't know. So then when I turned 16 years old, I saved up for my first motorcycle I bought from a racer, Danny Becker. And here I was, a handsome guy when I was 16. I was into motorcycle racing when I was 16. And I just enjoyed racing. I had my nice shirt on and we're ready to do some racing. I love to race motorcycles and just had a great time. So there I was when I was 16, handsome young lad. And one of my first big races I had was at the San Diego. They actually opened this speedway track called the San Diego Otay Mesa. Do you know the Otay Mesa Speedway track? It's in Otay Mesa. It's in San Diego, California. Actually, Otay Mesa is like a little town. It's like 5 people or something. There's nobody there. It's out in the desert, like it's on the border of Mexico and the United States, kind of not a little bit outside of San Diego. And I think we took the 8 freeway and we drove a while and then got off. It was kind of like in the middle of nowhere. And we went ahead. We had a practice day. One day we went out and before the season started, and we had this practice day. And here I was at practice day at Otay Mesa. And I had a pitman, Ernie Rocio. His uncle was a famous speedway rider who passed away. And I had long hair back in that day. And I was wearing my practice uniform. I was practicing on that day. And I was doing really good. And I was kind of like cleaning up that day. And it was a good race day for me. And somebody took that picture and I just kept it and it was a lot of fun. So I was practicing racing at Otay Mesa before the season started, and actually we had like a practice session, and we did like handicap racing. Here I was, and they put me at the back of the pack, and I had to pass these guys, which I did. But this was there. I was back here. Let's see, where am I? Here, I was right there. Oops, where am I? Right there. Coming back in the pack, they had everyone handicapped. They just threw everybody back so that we wouldn't be together. We had to go and race. Handicap. That was a practice session we had at Otay Mesa. And they used this for some advertising and stuff like that. And that day, I lost my steel shoe, and I went ahead and was riding my speedway bike the only time without, because in a speedway you have to slide and put your foot down, and then they have like a steel shoe. Here's my steel shoe now. I have a couple of them. I'll show it to you. Okay, here's my steel shoe right here. Let's see if we can see it. See those steel shoes? You put those on your boots, and then when you slide, you go ahead and like you can put your foot down and you can, ride, slide. This is the Bumblebee Hive. We're in the Bumblebee Hive. I got some trophies up here. And what else do we have up here? We got some trophies and then the steel shoe. And we have this little studio for the show. And the steel shoe is up there. And so we use that steel shoe for riding. And it just kind of keeps your feet from getting caught up and everything. We'll put the camera down. Like, stay there. Don't move. So when I was practicing this racing that day, they went ahead and my steel shoe fell off, so I didn't have a steel shoe. So if you look at that picture, there's like no steel shoe, and I was just dragging my feet in the dirt. So I never rode without a steel shoe, and I was crossing it up there, baby. And I was riding pretty fast, and I thought I would, I kind of impress the promoters, because I think I was doing one of the better riders. There was good riders too, and I was like one of the top couple riders that day. And this particular pitcher got put in the program, and they went ahead and they made like that was from the race practice day, and that was me just riding. I had the steel shoe there, I think. Yeah, I guess did I? Yeah, I had the steel shoe. Then later it broke or something, or a strap broke or something. But there I was riding before the season started. And that same picture they made for us a racing coupon for 50 cents off of admission. So the picture that you just saw, June 5, they have 50 cents coupon at South Bay Speedway in San Diego, California. And I was on a 50-cent off coupon. So I hit the big time. I was on a coupon for 50 cents. I'm worth like 50 cents, so that's pretty cool. And that's the same picture that they made the coupon from. The same one. See that? It looks like the same guy, I think. So that was a lot of fun. So they made coupons out of me and all this kind of stuff. They did all this promotion. And then opening night came, like I was really excited and stuff like that because like I was like one of the top, one or two riders or something. I was like at the top. And when the program came, I got there and I opened it up and my name was not in the program. So I'm like, what is this? So I went to the promoter, and I said to the promoter, excuse me, but, why am I not on the program? Why did I not make the program? Because I told them I was like one of the top riders when they had that practice session that day. It was like a week or two earlier. And what happened, and I asked that guy to his face, and he said, well, I don't know, I don't know. It's just, you didn't get put on the program. And I said, okay, well, what do I need to do to be put on the program? And then he said, well, we already have 2 reserves and you will be number 3. And I said, what? 3rd reserve? I drove all the way to San Diego by Mexico. And then the guy tells me I'm 3rd reserve. Like, no respect. No respect at all. And I made a blog on my channel on Brian B. And it's one of my like top viewed videos as far as minutes that I made like from the blog. It averages like 90%. Everyone's watching it like 90%. It's pretty good. And it's called No Respect at All. And I talk about this experience on the blog. And I was really pissed off, like I go all the way down there. I'm one of the top riders, and then they like leave me off the program. So I was like, a 3rd reserve, that's like insulting. I was mad, and I said, if I get in that race that night, I'm gonna kick their butts, man. So anyways, I guess they finally had an opening in the program, and then Denny Scopoletti was racing that night, substituting for the San Bernardino Sizzlers or something like that. The Sizzlers, that was Dennis Segalos' team when they're doing team racing. And so I got on the program. Thank you, Denny Scopoletti. Denny, we know Denny Scopoletti. He's a good rider. And he was riding on the San Bernardino Sizzlers. The Sizzler Steakhouse, $5.99. All you can eat Sizzler Steakhouse. All over the place. Thousands of locations in Southern California. Sizzler, be there. So I got on the program and I was mad. I was like really pissed. And I went ahead and just I said, if I get on this program, I'm going to beat everybody up. They like they lit the fire on my fuse. They made me mad. So anyways, I just went ahead and just went on a tear. And then every week, it was like Saturday night, they had the races there. And I started making all the cycle news and all the local clippings. I start kind of winning everything. And here's a clipping. Buffington Bushwhacks South Bay, San Diego. I used to like bushwhack them. I'm like, those jerks are going down. I'm gonna bushwhack you. Whack, whack, whack. I'm a bushwhacker. I gotta have my stick. So I was bushwhacking those guys. They were making trouble for me, and I was like bushwhacking them. And it says, diving into the corners with great force, uh, causing the bike to skitter through the turns. 17-year-old Bumblebee won the screen at South Bay Speedway Saturday night. Robin Hood within 10 yards of Brian, and Skip Kennedy was third place. And then he said, almost failing to program, that was the third substitute. See, substitute. It says it right here. Almost failing to make the program. Bumblebee was the third substitute rider. He rode in the spot vacated by Denny Scopoletti, who advanced to the San Bernardino Bandits. It was the Sizzlers. It wasn't the Bandits. The Bakersfield Bandits. San Bernardino Sizzlers. It said Bandits. That's wrong. The guy didn't know what he was talking about. This week. And also, I won the dice with Doug Stiles for second spot in his heat. And then, let's see, his heat won by Oxley. Oh, Brad won, and I got second place. So there it is. It talks about almost failing to make the program. I was the third reserve substitute. It says it right there in the paper. So if you think I'm joking, I'm not joking. And I took Denny Scopoletti. See, it says Denny Scopoletti, who advanced to the San Bernardino Sizzlers, not Bandits. Those guys are crazy this week. And so anyway, so I got second. I guess I got second place or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I went ahead and did really well. And I think I got second place opening night in the main. I go from third reserve to second place opening night. So that was a good start. And so they did this thing called King of the Hill Match Race Champion. And they went ahead and they had like these match races. And they had this guy, he was from like New Zealand. New Zealand had some really great riders like Ronnie Moore and like Ivan the Great Major and Barry Briggs. New Zealand was really good. And they had this guy, he was, what was his name? Kevin McDonald. Kevin McDonald, do you know him? This was one of the, they used to do this King of the Hill race. It was every intermission they have it. And I guess that night, Kevin McDonald, he was from New Zealand. He used to wear these New Zealand things. And I was riding the pole fast. And I beat Kevin McDonald on that scratch ride. I made the newspaper. What do you know? Kevin McDonald was, because they kind of put me down, he was the early leader of the point for the King of the Hill. His lead is slowly vanishing. He was good. Kevin McDonald was good. And I was coming up to challenge him. So that was good. And he's from New Guinea, I guess it says here. And it talks about the lead. So far, no one has been able to repeat either handicap or scratch main event. Last week, 17-year-old Brian Buffington of Orange came off the reserve list, powered his first scratch feature, topping favored Robin Hood, Mark Atchison of Anaheim, and also impressive capturing the handicap main after being out of the action. So anyway, so I went ahead and kind of had to work my way up there. So that was good. And then they had that King of the Hill thing, and I was like not really featured on it. And then I guess that guy Kevin McDonald, he wasn't doing very well. And then it became Larry Costa and me. Larry Costa is a great friend of mine, and he used to, like, he rode for the Bellevue Races in the British League. And there I am, Larry Costa, on a match race. We had the King of the Hill match race championship. Every week we would be racing, just two guys, and we would race, and the winner was like the king of the hill, and the loser was like, they had to go home, and there'd be a new king. So it was kind of fun, like the winner of the scratch meet would be the next challenger, and then they had the king. But Larry Costa, there's Larry trying to pass me on the outside. Good luck. And I was holding the inside pretty good, and we had these match races every week. But Larry did pretty good. Like, he beat me. I didn't know Larry beat me, actually. I beat him a lot. But he beat me, and I was reading this, and it says that here it is, the clipping. I just found this clipping from that day. Bikes race at South Bay, San Diego, Otay Mesa. Otay Mesa, do you know that place? It's in the middle of nowhere, so you probably would never, like, see that place in your life. It's like, and we used to watch those Mexican people dance and then climbing through the bushes to get to America. It was a lot of fun, It's like, go over that way because we're racing Speedway. We don't want to see you guys. But it said here that Larry Costa won the King of the Hill honors last week. But we'll have to see if he can double tonight and retain that. And then it said, and then Costa actually was leading the points. It was McDonald, and then it was Costa. Then I took the points, and then Brad Oxley came later and took the points. So it was like a merry-go-round of who was the getter for that King of the Hill match race champion. And lots of people shared that, so it wasn't just one guy. And it said that Costa had 31.5 points, and me, Bumblebee of Orange, 25.9 points. And then Doug Skiles had 23.8. And Kevin McDonald, this guy had 23 points, the guy from New Guinea or New Zealand or something like that. So he was fading. And then it was Larry Costa. Larry Costa, he was doing really good. And he ended up third in points. I ended up second in points. And Brad Oxley, he ended up first in points. So it was a pretty good track. There was some good heavy competition. And then one time Costa became the King of the Hill. Here's one. I think this is when he beat me, that little bum. Costa becomes King of the Hill. Larry Costa. He went ahead, and I think he beat me this night. I'm mad to this day. No, just joking. No, it said cyclist Larry Costa of La Mesa edged Brian, the Bumblebee of Orange, last edge. So it was a close race. He beat me. He edged me out. I lost to Larry Costa that night. I'm still mad. I'm like, oh, Larry, I don't like you. No, just joking. I like Larry. He's a good guy. And so it said that we raced, and Larry went ahead and edged me out. So Larry Costa beat me. Larry asked me, like, have I ever beat you? And I said, no, I don't think so. But Larry went ahead and he beat me. So that was pretty cool. And then I just started doing really good. I started racing on like the 50-yard line, and I was at the 0 or 10 and then worked. And then I went ahead and I worked my way, wherever it is, to the 50, Brian, number 339. And what did I do? I can't see what I did. Anyways, I was a 50-yard line rider right there. There's Kevin McDonald, and then there's Bonsai Ishii from Japan, Steve Lewiski, Doug Skiles, Kevin McDonald, the guy from New Zealand, he's on the 40, and Brian on the 50, number 339. I was number 339 back in the early days. This is kind of like when I had my 3-digit number. But I worked my way on the 50, so I was a 50-yard line rider at that D2 track. So that was good. And then we had scratch racing. We had lots of scratch racing. Here I am racing with Brad Oxley. let's see. I think I got second place that on that race. It looks like I got a 2 there. And that's okay. 2 advances. Sean Mad Dog McConnell was number 188. And then Paul Heldron, he was in one of those pictures I just had. So it was me, McConnell, Oxley, and Heldron. I got second place in that race. So Oxley and Sean McConnell, and I got second. So that was all right. I'll take that one. And so, I just went ahead and had some really